I think the level of trust goes up and down with cycles in the economy and with public expectations, public feelings. But I think it is low right now.
There's no doubt that the public has a really healthy distrust of business right now. And that's driven by a whole series of factors: corporation tax, horse meat, the collapse of the banks. And business has a real task on its hands to try and inject some more trust and to bring back the situation to levels which would be appropriate.
Too many business leaders think they can simply speak the T word and then somehow trust magically happens. It just isn't like that. And my experience is that trust often spoken is trust rarely earned.
The horse meat thing is so grotesque that it's made people question the whole supply chain of some of these large businesses. And they're going to have to work very hard to re-establish that trust, I think.
I think the most important thing is to focus on actions and not words. You're hearing far too many words from business leaders today. We need to rebuild trust. Actually, what they need to do is take action in the areas that will impact trust. So they need to do things. And one of those things is perhaps to be more transparent about what they do and how they do it.
Big issue for us is the conditions in our supply chain. So we invest millions of pounds in checking that out. So it sounds boring, but governance and audit processes are important.
I've just done research on 14 organisations looking at levels of trust following the financial crisis. Of the 5 organisations that actually came through the wake of the financial crisis well, all of them invested in trust and trusting relationships as a valuable business commodity on an ongoing basis. They didn't just try and magic trust out of the hat like a white rabbit whenever a crisis came along.
Trust can't simply be restored by taking one step or one action. Trust has to be hard fought, hard won, hard earned, continually every day. It is not there to be bestowed from above.
Tesco's could never have predicted that it was going to be a horse meat scandal that would create such a problem. I mean, how can you predict that sort of thing? What you've got to do is be an agile and responsive organisation, and one that is in touch with its customers and who the customers trust.
It's fundamental that companies understand their core values and principles. Absolutely fundamental, because if they don't, then they can't portray a consistent message to their staff, to their employees, or to the marketplace itself.
The most trusted organisations have a very high degree of internal trust and a very high degree of external trust. Usually we think about the external trust as the most sort of public part of a loss of trust, but actually the most corrosive would be probably if you haven't got your own team with you.
You save yourself in terms of reputational risk by being honest and by being open, not trying to hide dirty little secrets within your supply chain, not lying to customers and not lying to your staff. The way to go really is by being open and honest and straightforward.
And if citizen activism, aided by technology, can bring down a government or a regime, it can certainly bring down a corporation or a brand. And I think that we will see within the next 18 to 24 months something like that happening.
If the mindset of your leaders is about integrity, honesty, knowing how to do things right rather than quickly or making a fast buck, that's what's going to drive things.